also a really warm welcome and a thank you to the guys of ServoyCamp to organize this. Maybe first an applause for these guys because I think, and Mark. I really think it's special that as a product company like us, we have so many enthusiastic people and people like this from the community who bring this community to life. Yes, we have a forum, but that's pretty goldish, I would say. Meeting people. Glasses on. I can't see. I need new glasses. Now I can see people. Yes, I think it's really special that a community like this exists. I think it's getting a little bit more rare that communities like this exist. People, for some kind of reason, like to do everything online. The last time, 5 years ago, I just turned 50. Damn, I feel old. COVID, I think, did not help at all. It feels like getting people out of their house, maybe even out of their pajamas, and join conferences like this is getting more and more difficult. I take out my pajamas when I work, but some people don't even have to, especially if you're a developer. You can just get out of bed, go behind your laptop. Who actually works in their pajamas? Jan. Thank you, Jan. You even have pajamas? What has been seen cannot be unseen. Sorry. And I still see that on the forum where people help each other. And what's really nice is that this year we're getting more companies that do have resources in Servoy. Some of you might know that we have done also a bit of that in our mini office. We have professional service. We get more and more the question from customers, can you help us not just tell us how to do it, but also do it? And we are getting more to the moment where we can really offer these jobs also more and more to these companies. So please, like Glassy and Mark and Cloud++, please really talk to these guys if you need help. Getting people is really difficult these days. Developers are getting more and more scarce. Even though ChatGPT will probably help us or not, I don't know. Let's get started. So today, this session is called Roadmap, but I'm a little bit, I always maybe try to do my own thing. Maybe you're hoping that I'm going to tell you what's going to be in the next release. If you want to know that really, then just ask Johan. I can tell you more about our focus to give you, I think, maybe a bit more context of what we think we are. And please tell me now or later or in the Q&A. There's a Q&A session in the afternoon, right? What you think about that, because maybe you think you guys are bullshitting, full of bullshit. I don't know. Fine, tell me you can learn. For me and for my team, this is also a place where we can really learn. So please tell me your unfiltered feedback so we can adapt. If you look at our focus, then we can say, where we'll probably in the coming years, let's say, which drives our roadmap will be our priorities. I think a big subject for the future is AI, and I will tell you something about that. And then I have something which is a little bit more interactive, because like I said, I really want to learn and not just broadcast whatever we think, because I think that makes more sense. So our focus, so what is Servoy in our vision? And I think it has never changed. It's really nice that Jan is here today. You can probably nod or say no, that I'm full of crap. But it was always intended to make the life of software developers easy. We always thought that, or when they started, it was just way too difficult to make software. And that's got maybe a little bit broader. And I think we are a holistic software development platform. Holistic means end-to-end, like a unified thing, which in our sense should not be taken apart. And we want to empower software developers. And we see more and more a movement where we do that in smaller teams. We do have some companies where there's bigger teams, maybe up to 40 people. But above that, there is like a glass ceiling where these teams think and maybe have the leverage to do everything themselves without having to use a platform like ours. So they are trying to build their own platforms like ours in-house. And you see that in the Netherlands, probably brought to like the big banks, insurance companies. I think ING has 500 Java developers only working on a part of their banking platform. So smaller teams. And what we also see, most of these teams build complex business applications. So not something really, really simple, complex, and complex can be in terms of logic, backend, or really complex UX. They don't want to be limited, so it should look and behave they want, and really that should be without compromise. So freedom, I think for us is really, really important. And there's a trend where we've started or tried to compare ourselves to these low-code and no-code platforms. I think this is also where we are a bit different. Should we call ourselves a low-code? I think not, because typical low-codes these days are still force you to have compromise. It makes you go faster, but there's also a downside of that. And if you look at the Servoy platform, we try to really give you the amount of freedom that you don't have to compromise in what you really build. So this is really what we are. A nice story that in the past 3 months, I would say, we did a bunch of interviews, and we talked about 50 development teams and tried to figure out, do we still fit? And a lot of these things, of course, solve things, right? Like the holistic part. Yeah, you can build your own stack, and you can take a bunch of technologies, try to put them together. And if you talk to these development teams, a lot of time is spent in trying to assemble their own stack. If you look at complex business application, complex also is something like a lot of data. Complex in logistics with a lot of customers or logistics, trade. There's typically a lot of data going on there. And like I said, we talked to about 50 development teams and try to figure out, is what we do, does it fit onto the problems or the challenges they have? And the good news is that they do. And these teams were, I think about 85% are not in ISVs. So we see also a trend that more and more non-ISVs, in the past Servoy was really, really focusing on ISVs. But now we see that there's a trend that corporates and users start building their own software also more and more. So yeah, with this in mind, what does that mean to what our priorities are? So if we are for developers in smaller teams, yeah, then of course our focus should be on developers. And in the past, I would say, how long have we been working on Titanium, Johan? 3 years?
No more.
Yeah. So in the past 4 years, we've been really crunching hard, or not me, Johan and his team, has been working really hard on getting Titanium really up to speed, making it work. We have a bunch of customers who are live on Titanium in the past 12 months or so. And having said that, that takes a lot of the power of the team. And our priorities need also to be, and we have to shift that a little bit here and there to make things work, to deliver a great IDE, because that's where the people who use Servoy live every day. So that means great performance and a great dev experience. And I know people sometimes complain about that the developer is slow or slowly, or but bear in mind that that's really what our focus is, and it's going to be in the coming periods. Same for the form designer. I know some people dislike that completely. They work with the outline, and the team has been working hard also to move our form designer to Angular 16 or something, the latest Angular. And we're working hard on that. Another important thing is coding. People I don't know who asked us that, but as you might have known, we have a technical advisory board, and they've been trying to push us to bring more modern ECMAScript to Servoy. Because yeah, developers are developers. They like to work with the most modern languages or the most modern version of JavaScript. So that's on our radar. Documentation, I will tell you a little bit more about that later. Working hard on that, and of course community. So these are really, really important things in our priorities. Like I said before, DevOps and product lifecycle management integrated. Like I said, Servoy is a holistic. We try to be holistic, so end to end. And to develop an application is one thing, but to bring that to the cloud and do that right is the other thing. After me, there's going to be a session by Victor and Renee about Servo Cloud, where that is today. That's why I put the dots there. I don't want to tell you what they're going to show. But we do that because we truly believe that just the development part is not it. It doesn't end there. There's a lot of time being spent in companies to build, test, deploy, maintain, monitor the applications. And we really want to put that into the product and see it as a 100% part of that. Onboarding, I guess most people here are fairly experienced with Servoy. But with new people, we see a lot of trouble getting them started with Servoy. It's pretty difficult, well, maybe not to download and install it, but to start using it, to understand some concepts. And that hurts us getting new people to the product. Because if you don't understand it, you download it, install it, and then don't get it, and then up to the next. And the competition is one click away. To do that, again, we need top documentation, tutorials, templates, and I'll tell you a little bit later about AI. And of course, there's always this big underflow for the team to stay modern. We really try to stay as modern as possible, close to Angular, for instance, the release cycle, with all the problems that gives Johan and his team, but there's a lot of stuff going on there always. There's a big underflow of things that we need to keep doing to keep this platform modern for you, so you don't have to worry about it. All right. Some examples. It's probably the wrong example. I stopped pretending that I can code. I don't know if people have seen that, but we're putting more modern features of ECMA into Servoy. Is that modern, Johan? I took it from our release notes. Sorry. So we try to get closer to the latest releases of ECMA. Some things are very, very difficult or impossible, but a lot of coding patterns are going into the product more and more. And this is just not just the execution, but also the parser that needs to do that. Who wants more modern stuff in JavaScript? Yes. Oh, even Victor. I told you don't put up your hand. Well, we set it up. All right. Form designer. I asked the team to. It's coming up. It didn't make it to this release. So, for instance, one of the things we're building in the form designer is the anchoring, or how do you call that? It's snapping to grids, and we have these helping lines in absolute positioning. Working hard to get that. It's probably going to go into next release, Johan. Yeah. Probably going to 12. So things are coming up slowly. NG Desktop, for instance, and NG Mobile in Servo Cloud Pipeline. I know people use that a lot. We have a lot of customers who build mobile apps or desktop apps. We put that also now as part of of our pipeline in the cloud. So not just building the WAR file, but you can actually get the executable or the APK or the, what's it in Apple called?
IPA.
What, is it IPA? Oh, the IPA.
It's like beer.
Oh, it's like beer. So you can get that from the pipeline. You just configure a build, and then it will create the various deployable applications for you. And the team, like I said, will show you a bunch of stuff that we do in Servo Cloud. Documentation. I don't know if people saw that already. We are on the verge of moving all our documentation away from the wiki and into docs.servoy.com. It's already live. To completely refactor that. People seen that already? We put the release notes in here.
Yes.
I think that's the most important today. You saw it?
Other question. Can you change the color scheme on that? I mean, the new, the What's new basically is a light yellow or the white. I mean,
You don't like the color?
well, I'd like a bit more of contrast between. I mean,
Can you repeat the question for the video?
Oh, the question is, can you change the color? I don't know. We can ask.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're refactoring that, getting that more. I think the technical documentation is already in there, Johan, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Dr. Arne.
So what's in the wiki? The wiki today, our documentation was always written pretty bottom up. So we push all the API from our source code into the wiki, and we do that now here. And the documentation home, so docs is more top down. So it tells you concepts, tutorials, beginner guides, stuff like that. We're putting that in there. It is, like I said, really for people who are trying to onboard and understand more concepts. Cases. So if people have cases, I always urge you guys to, especially around developer. When I am with customers, I almost always get anecdotes about hanging developer or slowness or whatever. But please make cases. And Johan and his team will tell you what he needs in the case, because we really want to focus on making the ID and of course our complete stack better and better. But if we don't have cases, it's very difficult to go about that. And the challenge, of course, is that typically our people at R&D don't work with the ID because they make the ID. So for them, it's pretty difficult to get into your shoes. Our team at Servoy themselves, we do make cases. I tell Victor and his colleagues always, if there's an issue, you make cases. But yeah, we don't know how you use it and where you run into. So please, if we don't have this, then it's very, very difficult for us to do this and to make it better and make it great. All right. AI. Who's been working with ChatGPT? Who has not? Maybe it's better. Oh, Peter. You're too smart. Yeah, I will tell you a little bit about AI. Has everything changed? In 2019, we already started with AI, and the reason for this was that I really had the feeling that we could bring the knowledge of our experts, or even of the community, to beginners. So, like build some kind of chatbot, which you say, hey, how do I do this, or how do I do that? Back then we chose Deep Pavlov, which is a Russian AI engine, and tried to feed it our own data. And, sorry. It's Sam Altman calling me, no sorry. And behind that is a picture from Dumb and Dumber. Back then, yeah, it did give us answers, but was extremely slow. And it was still very, very dumb. We did another one in 2021, same result. We tried to feed it, these both bots, our wiki. So just dump the whole wiki into it and learn it. And a lot of our forum data, because in the forum is a lot of question and answers, which AI engine could learn from. But it felt like the technology was not there yet, or we need a huge team to figure out how to make it work. And this was really a test for us to see where is this technology now. And then I think in November 22 last year, a lot of stuff changed. Who recognized the sentence, hey Google, how many calories are in the banana? We didn't prepare this, John. Remember this?
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
I still do it, yeah.
I do it too. How long ago was that when I was at your house? When you taught me this?
8 years ago or so?
Yeah. So 8 years ago, I stayed in Jan's house in Oaks. And I think in the morning at breakfast, he said, I asked my AI assistants, I think Alexa or Google Home, I can't remember.
I had all of them,
Yeah.
Google Home.
I always ask them, hey Google, hey Google, how many calories in a banana? And then it says 153 or whatever, I don't know. And then he said, and then I always guess, and in an apple. It's a conversation, eh? So then Google understands it's still about calories. Then it answers 200. And then you ask, and how much together? And it completely, it has no idea what you want the combination of these two calories. So in November 2022, and so since then, I ask my Google Assistant this question, I think every quarter or so. So for 8 years, I asked this my Google Assistant every quarter to see if it got smarter. It never got smarter. Siri has no idea. Alexa has no idea. Nobody has an idea. So then in 22 November, ChatGPT 3.5 came out, and I thought, oh, that's good. I'll sign up and I'll play with it. And I asked this question, hey Google, or hey, I typed how many calories in a banana, gave the answer, and in an apple, gave the answer, and then and together, and it added it up. And I said, damn, this is new. And then I asked, and suppose I eat half of each. Figured it out. So I kept on asking all those questions. Damn, this is really cool, right? This is really a new thing. So we've been playing with OpenAI since then. I put more and more emphasis on this at Servoy also. And actually GPT-4 is already today, without us learning it, anything pretty smart. GPT 3.5 answers this with alert or something, right? So an alert in the browser. 4 already understands it. It gets this, I presume, from our wiki, or I don't know where it gets this from. And that's really already a big step, right? So what have we learned a little bit? We've been experimenting with embedding and fine-tuning. Who's really actually doing something with AI, OpenAI, today? Yeah. Yeah, you're doing a session tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And I was thinking, how can I make like a parallel of this? And I think with embedding and fine-tuning, it feels like here is ChatGPT 4, and I can give it my library of stuff. That's what you call embedding. But the trouble a little bit is that it can't combine those books. It doesn't understand that. So it's a smart guy sitting in a room, and you have a directory vector database with data, which it can search data up quick, but it can't combine that. So that's a little bit of a challenge today. We are figuring it out more and more how to do this, but it's still pretty complex. Training GPT-4, so suppose we could train our own model. Training the model itself, which OpenAI did, they predict that, or they estimate that costs them $100 million to train the GPT-4 model once. So if we would have to feed our stuff into our model, we would have to spend 100 million, probably not a way forward for us. So although it's really powerful technology on one hand, and we really will try to get that into our technology woven, there are still limitations, it feels like. So what have we done so far? So another reason why we migrated our documentation into this new Gitbook thing is to make it also more and more consumable for AI. We use the Atlassian Confluence for our documentation. That's not a great format to feed into these AIs. And the nice thing is that we use Gitbook for this. Gitbook has an AI technology embedded into their platform. Did it go up? No. So the nice thing is that you can already, it's called Lens. So if you go to docs.servoy.com, you can search, and there is another button that says Lens. And when you type there something, it uses OpenAI technology to search or to, with a vector database, to go through the documentation. You need to change the battery? Yeah. Okay, and I will show it. Test? Yeah, all right. Am I going too fast? Do I speak? I typically speak too quick. Sorry.
You drain the batteries.
Yeah, I drained it because I talk so fast, the batteries go down. And we have that's Gitbook has an API. We use the API with a beta chatbot in our cloud also. So we've done that. We're with that. We added natural language capabilities to Servo Cloud. Are we going to show that? Okay. We are working hard to apply machine learning to the log data. And what we did, I think 6 months ago or so, start an AI task force to really find ways how to make use of technology for you guys. So things like analyze, recommend, that could be something like write my button somewhere in your code, explain or generate. And we're working hard on that. Today I think it's not ready for release because the quality is not good enough. But we're doing a lot of work to get this right. What we are planning to research and give to you is, and I guess Sean will show you something already that customers are doing, how to embed it in your applications, like adding these vector search capabilities. Like I said before, big library, the way to embed stuff like that into AI is to make a vector database out of that. So the AI engine can look that data up quickly and make analysis of that. And natural language hooks into applications. Questions? All right. So because this session is called Roadmap, I was thinking about, so where do we believe applications will go in the next 5 years? So I made a screenshot of the hype cycle of emerging technologies. Difficult to read. Things like, and I made a Vision Pro screenshot. And of course you guys are hoping that I'm gonna say, I'm the guru, I can predict where this is all going. But I think here in the room there's a lot of people that have vision about that. Will it go into more virtuality? Will blockchain and NFTs, all kinds of technology are emerging, low code, no code, you name it. And I want to make it a little bit more interactive, if that's okay with you. So maybe you guys can scan this QR code. And I'm going to ask you guys, where do you think application development will go in the next 3 to 5 years? It will come back. Does it work? You don't need a code, I think. I like it. It's anonymous, so don't worry.
Oh.
Don't be shy. There's no wrong answers.
You can only use 25 words.
You can only use 25 characters. That's on purpose. Because otherwise, people are going to share their life story. Mark? Come on. You're still thinking? Yeah, that's cool. Everybody ready? Still typing? Cool. I see API. Who wants to say something about that? Who typed that? You can come out of your anonymous. Who said API? Wow. Petri probably did.
No. We're already using it, so it's not new. We're building with GraphQL right now.
Uh-huh.
So that's not new. That's it needs to be already there.
Right. I see automation. Elaborate a little bit on that. What's meant with that? What's automation mean?
It's a combination of AI and your internal processes and automating it rather than getting a human to do it.
Like RPA maybe? Robotics?
Not so much physical robotics type stuff.
No, I mean RPA is like the robotic process automation. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Cool. No downtime? Do we already have downtime? Who's is that important for somebody? I thought we were with the cloud. I think Jan.
Always preaching.
Who's there?
How are you? I'm off. Oh.
Yeah, I'm back. People, I think Jan was always preaching in cloud there is no downtime. So who has, well, maybe it's difficult to say. They probably have had downtime yesterday. Workflow management, is that close to automation?
Can be.
Who is about workflow management? We have some customers that are really doing that big time.
Yeah.
We built in our hackathon last February, we built a workflow engine into Servoy. Reuse, that was I think the first one. It needs to go faster, reuse. Who said reuse? People are so shy? Oh, reuse. Why is that?
Because I was first now. Now reuse, I think in general, cost of IT is getting up. I think that's something we've been seeing over the past years. I think that's the challenge where every IT is playing a major part. So in the end, reuse is one of the, I think, biggest opportunities to cut down costs and get more out of your support.
Oh, cool.
Can you repeat a little bit for the video?
Oh, I repeat for the video. No, sorry, I don't know your name.
Janus.
Oh, Janus said that reuse is to cut if you reuse part of your IT, I presume.
Yeah, but also outside of your company. So I think what we've
Okay.
been seeing in the past is that companies are really looking at themselves when they're looking at development. And I think if we're going to look into the future, I think this is going to be a wider thing. I think this is also driven by AI, what you're seeing now. So people are more open to the thoughts of using things that are publicly available. And I think that will be a differentiator in the coming years.
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
Ask ChatGPT to summarize it. No, Janus said that reuse is about reusing parts of IT, but also reusing, I guess, data or services from outside your company to don't do everything yourself or redo, I guess. That will save big time and cost. Good observation, I think. Anybody want to talk about one of these subjects? What the hell do they mean? Do we agree? Is this or is this a bullshit list? Johan?
No. I find it nice that more complex is a little bit highlighted.
Yeah, we see more complex and we see simpler.
And easy forums.
What's meant with simpler? Is that meant something like more point solutions? Is that the meaning of that? Who said that? Is simpler apps, it says. Is that meant around that you want more point solutions for one use case or simpler to use?
Yeah, but today when you start to use an app, and you constantly thrown off content at you, and then the users are trying to make sense of the use. Well, do I really need that app or this application, I don't know. So I think with simple apps, then we increase the chances that we capture more users.
Okay. I'll repeat that. The explanation behind it is that if a user starts with an app, you get a really complex and a lot of data and content thrown at you, and then you maybe lose that person in their buying journey, right? So we need to give them more simple apps, and then maybe later on when they are more used to it, make them more, get them more features or something.
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna talk about that when you talk about UX design. You have to talk about UX first, right?
Yes.
And that session is tomorrow, right?
Today.
Oh, today. All right. Well, thanks. Interesting. I have another one. What will it mean to be a software developer in 2027? In 5, what years is that? 4 years. What does that mean for you? Retired. Nice. Pension. Okay. Don't be shy. You can say in Spanish if you want.
That's it. Yes.
What's that?
Yeah.
Johan, why are you not typing?
My word is the biggest one there.
Is it big because people vote on it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah? You can vote on somebody else's answer?
Oh,
If
Oh.
you type the same word, type the same thing.
If you doubt it. One more typing. Arjo is already retired, so you don't type anything. All right, AI assisted. That's really cool. Yeah, I think I told you before that we are working hard on getting that into the product, or have the product be led by that. Better glasses. I think, can we put bigger fonts in the IE? And you don't need bigger glasses, or yeah. A lot of people retiring, I guess. More focused on security. Yeah, it's like I said, we interviewed about 50 people, 50 development teams, and a lot of them were really big on security and compliance. Is that, like I said, 85% of those teams were enterprises or end users, so not ISVs. But is this something big on the agenda here too? Who is really big on security and compliance? Is that a big part of your job? For the rest, yeah. The rest is less of a problem? Less of a focus, maybe? It's secure enough. And compliance, is that a big thing? Oh,
If you're in
yeah.
a regulated industry, yes.
Yeah. Could think of that in the product maybe. Be interesting for the people who are in that industry to talk to what that could mean for the product. We haven't figured that out. Try to keep up, yeah, with new stuff, lots of work. Scarce of people, I presume. Non-human, what's that mean?
AI.
Fully written by AI.
Fully written by, do we believe
No,
software is going to be written fully by AI?
never going to
Never going to happen, Patrick.
That is a bold statement.
happen. Yeah, that's true. No, because I was studying in 1996, and then they said, 4GL is going to take over the world. You only need some smart consultants and no developers needed. And I was studying computer science, so I thought, okay, and still need a lot of developers. So I think it's a repeating of that cycle. They thought 4GL is going to do everything smart with all kinds of structures and just drawing forms and drawing relationships. And well, we need a lot of developers today.
Okay. Should I still repeat this? Yeah, Patrick said that we need a lot. Developers are needed all the time. It's a repetition of 4GL, and then we had a bunch of those other cycles where they always said, no code is a similar cycle, I presume.
Yeah.
And AI will probably be similar. Creative, I see. I like that. I really think
Yeah,
developers.
I do hope so, because AI assistant means you can be more creative, because all the tedious things get done by AI. But it has to be seen. It does help a lot. I see it already with our developers today. But I still think really creative just is more of a personal trait than it is helping with AI.
Yeah, yeah, I like that a lot. Who thinks of themselves as a creative person when they're developing? No, but it's really important. Yeah, Jan is laughing, but it's important. And does that creative in finding solutions, or also creative in creating beauty, maybe?
I think they're very different things.
Mhm.
Finding solutions is very different to creating beauty, and I think it's difficult to find a person who can do both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Well, there's beauty and beauty. There's also beautiful of looking at good code.
Yeah. There's beauty in complexity or something, right? Yeah, I like that.
Maybe if someone else wants to say something,
Yeah.
raise their hands.
Or you can run.
Microphone.
Yes. So, no questions, anyone? Just kidding.
All right, I have one more. One more.
Sorry, what do you want to do? Before you move on, some of those are a joke or meant to.
Just a second.
Yeah.
New protocol.
I think some of the comments there were meant with a humorous side, like the retirement and pension, better glasses and things like that. But I think it's something we were discussing at the dinner table last night. It is you can perceive within the Servoy community that it is an older community, and we don't get a lot of younger programmers using Servoy. And I think that's something that we as a community should get involved in trying to bring in younger programmers to keep the Servoy community going.
Yeah, really good point. Yeah.
Great point.
And we as a company, we deal with our local university. They do a 4-year computer science course, 1 year of which is a year in industry. We take graduates for that year in industry. They come with us for a year. They go back, they complete their degree. At the end of it, we give them a job. And I've got a team of 6 now, and all of those have come through that program. And I think it's quite an important thing if we want Servoy to grow and be used extensively in the future, that we need a younger upcoming generation.
Yeah, we could help you in this. we ourselves are trying to hire. So we have a team in Romania of how many people? Professional services, Peter?
30.
Okay, are all younger people. We also do internships in our Amsterdam office. I do see with our newer customers who are typically enterprises, so not ISVs, younger crew. But I guess those companies don't send people as easy to conference like this. But I totally see the same thing. It's so yeah. If you have ideas how we can help you in this, then please share that with me, and we can do that. We've tried in the past in the university here in the Netherlands, but that seems difficult. But if people have experience with it in the Netherlands, then please tell me. Then we can collaborate. But I totally agree. It's a challenge.
I guess that's also where the ECMA stuff comes from.
Yeah, totally.
Because newer, graduating now from school, are expecting stuff like more advanced ECMA, TypeScript maybe, that kind
Or
of stuff.
TypeScript even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always a discussion in the technical advisory board that we said, yeah, why the hell do you need LED or whatever, I don't know, any of these features? And that it was always, yeah, but people coming from university expect this and they type it, it doesn't work. And so then it's immediately perceived as old. So yeah, thanks for that. Anybody else? So what will this mean for the server product in the next 3 to 5 years? What do you think it should mean? I have 5 more minutes, I think, right? Robert?
Yeah. No, I didn't get one.
Oh dear.
Oh, here we go. Now people go crazy.
Ja, dat doe ik niet. Tenminste, ik weet niet hoeveel gedaan. Cheaper license, oh.
Cheaper license.
All right, I think we all typed it. Oh,
Still typing. Yeah.
Better Touch is not that big yet. I was thinking it's going to explode. But
See how many rows it's okay.
I think I can see it in the back end. I don't know. All right. Better docs. I agree. We're working hard on that. We have dedicated people for that now. There's big focus on that. I see different IDE, Visual Studio Code, and MS Code, I think, or something. I saw.
VS Code.
Oh, is this Visual Studio Code?
Yes,
That's a typo, I guess.
No, Microsoft Code.
Johan, what can you say about that? Or maybe we should do that in Q&A. But
Yeah. That's more Q&A stuff. I guess that's more Q&A stuff, yeah. For stuff like that, because yeah. Like I said, it's completely different because if you go to VS Code, then everything needs to be changed. And everybody that's now they were doing in Visual Studio Code, if you open a file, then you see suddenly errors. If you close a file, errors are gone. Yes. If you open a complete project, you don't see the error. You only see when you fully build it. And that's a bit of a problem. I have the same thing with my TypeScript stuff, which I do still in Eclipse, by the way, but it's then with services, with TypeScript services and Angular services, language services. It's the same thing. Many times, R&D people, for me, commit stuff, and I only see it breaking at the moment it's Jenkins built, because they don't see it. Because they don't see that suddenly they change a file here, and all the way there, that file has a dependency on that one, and TypeScript servers don't see that. I find that very annoying.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the code editor, because I see a lot of young people use MS Code or Visual Code. I see a lot of young developers use MS Code because you can run it anywhere. You can run it in Docker, you can run it on any machine. And there's so many plugins, there's AI integrated, it's moving so fast, and the Eclipse editor is lagging behind. I use
maybe to, sorry, don't want to cut you off, maybe let's move that to the Q&A. I think the for us today, and we are looking at this, so don't worry. We're taking these suggestions really serious.
I understand it's taking a lot of work, but I do. If you want to engage younger people, there needs to be done something with the editor.
Yeah, I agree. And the question is that a new IDE or not? For us, like I said before, the focus for us is we need to stay a holistic platform, and to take an editor out, right? That would be breaking that belief, unless we figure out a way to make that still a holistic product. So say, yeah, you can use any editor or something, that would not be in the things we believe. But really good feedback. I know these things are have been discussed in the past also in the community, and we get that back from our advisory board, and so it's really on the agenda, and we do keep on researching that, and at one point we need to make decisions on things. Same for, I saw TypeScript one time, I think, and ECMAScript 6 support.
We have to round up.
Yeah. Cheaper licenses. Whoever said that you can talk to sales. Get a discount, I don't know. I'm not in sales. Scalability. Don't really, maybe whoever said that, you need to teach them something. I don't know. Customer contact. That's for me really worrying. If people say that, please also reach out to me. Yeah, maybe you don't want to raise your hand, but that's a bad thing for us. If I would summarize this, there's a couple real technical things for the suite. Docs, editor. We need a dark mode.
A readable dark mode.
What?
A readable dark mode. I mean, you couldn't make it like that's gray on black.
Okay. We'll look at it. Show Johan.
Well, I'm not using it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the Q&A, we do that.
Yeah, we can put it in. All right. Thank you for that.
Final slide.
Final slide, yeah. If it says bad customer contact, we don't talk to you, but maybe you can talk to us, please. And for me, this was really insightful. A lot of things which the community tells us with this, really important. And we'll put that, gives it in high focus on the roadmap. Sean, who is leading the roadmap, I will give all this to him and talk to him. Actually, he's open for anybody to talk to. If you have ideas, if you want to talk to him, please reach out. It's his job to get this into the roadmap, but I will urge him to do that. For now, thanks a lot. Ask the difficult questions in the Q&A to the end. Me and Johan, and who else is going to be in there? I don't know. Renee, maybe. Next up, I think, is Renee and Victor showing cloud. We will, of course, be, like I said, in the Q&A panel. Tomorrow, Johan is doing his titanium magic, and the rest, I guess, in the schedule. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.